So, you're probably a pro at the hustle, right? The drive, the push, the constant grind to achieve your goals. But what if there's a different kind of mastery, a more powerful one? Today, we are diving into the art of strategic rest. And look, this isn't about powering down. It's about completely rewiring how you recharge for peak performance.
Wow, just let that sink in for a second. We're taught that being exhausted is a sign of commitment, of dedication. It's a badge we're supposed to wear proudly. But what if it's not a badge of honor at all? What if it's really a sign that we're giving up on a smarter, more sustainable way to win? All right, so first things first. We have to tear down this huge myth that so many of us have bought into, the idea that nonstop action is the only path to success. It turns out the actual science of high performance tells a very, very different story. So the whole idea of hustle culture, it's based on this really simple but totally flawed equation. More action equals more success. But biological reality, it just doesn't work that way. Real growth, sustainable growth, comes from the cycle of action plus recovery. Think about it. We're not machines you can just leave plugged in 24/7. We're organisms. And when you try to fight your own biology, yeah, that has some serious costs. Burnout isn't some moral failing. It's a biological system failure. Your nervous system literally gets jammed in fight or flight mode. You start burning through your body's energy currency, things like ATP, and your brain gets bogged down by what's called attention residue. It's like having way too many tabs open in your mind. And the result is always the same. Your ability to think clearly and make good decisions just tanks. Okay, think about it like this. An elite athlete, they know this secret. The muscle doesn't get stronger during the workout. It gets stronger when it's resting and rebuilding afterward. It's a scientific principle called supercompensation. It's a fundamental law of physical growth. Which really makes you wonder, right? Why on earth don't we apply this same proven logic to our mental and creative work? But that leads to a whole new problem, doesn't it? Because for most of us, rest equals sleep. End of story. But if sleep was the ultimate cure-all, why do so many of us get a full night's sleep and still feel completely wiped out? Clearly, we need a better model for what rest actually is.
Seriously, who hasn't felt this? It's the worst. You do everything you're supposed to do, you get your 8 hours, and you wake up feeling like you just ran a mental marathon. The reason is you're probably suffering from a different kind of rest deficit that sleep alone just can't fix.
Because, and this is the big idea, it turns out there isn't just one type of rest. There are 7. And once you understand these 7 types, it's like getting a detailed diagnostic map for your own energy system. It changes everything.
All right, let's break down this new map of your energy. You've got the obvious ones, right? Physical rest, like sleeping, and mental rest, which is about quieting that racing mind. But then things get more interesting. There's sensory rest, which is taking a break from all the noise, the notifications, the screen glare. There's creative rest, which is about letting yourself be inspired by beauty and awe. Emotional rest is having a space where you can be truly yourself without having to perform. Social rest is about spending time with people who fill you up, not drain you. And finally, spiritual rest, which is that feeling of connecting to something bigger than yourself, a sense of purpose.
Okay, so we've got the map. Now how do you figure out where you are on it? It's time to stop guessing and actually do a quick, practical audit of your own energy.
And it's actually a really simple process, just 3 steps. First, just take an inventory. For each of those 7 types of rest, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5. Be honest. Then, step 2, look for patterns. Where are your lowest scores? And the really important part is to ask why. Finally, prescribe yourself a solution. Start proactively scheduling small activities that specifically target your biggest deficits. This is how you stop just guessing what's wrong and start actually building a strategy to fix it.
And the best part? The fix isn't some crazy week-long vacation you can't afford. The real game changer is learning how to integrate these little micro doses of restoration right into your busiest days. These aren't breaks from your work, they are what makes your work better. So here's the cool science fact. Your body and brain work in these 90-minute cycles of high focus followed by a dip. That mid-afternoon slump you feel, that's a real biological thing called your ultradian rhythm. So instead of chugging more coffee to fight it, what if you just honored it? Taking a strategic 5-minute pause isn't lazy. It's a way to reset your system so you can come back strong. Okay, tool number 1 for mental rest, the box breath. It's a classic for a reason. Just inhale for a count of 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold again for 4. That's it. Just 60 seconds of this can hit the brakes on a racing mind and seriously calm your nervous system. All right, what about when you're feeling creatively drained? Try what's called an awe walk. Just go outside for 5 minutes with one mission. Find something genuinely beautiful or interesting. The way the light hits a building, a weird-looking plant, whatever. It's a simple trick to shift your brain from producing to receiving, and it works wonders for refilling that creative well. Now, for emotional rest, you don't need to do anything complicated. Just pause for a second and ask yourself, hey, what am I feeling right now? And then just name it. Frustration, anxiety. It sounds too simple, but neuroscience shows that just putting a name to that feeling actually dials down its intensity and gives you back a sense of control.
And this last one, oh man, this is probably for all of us. The screen sabbatical. Every hour, just for 3 to 5 minutes, look away from all your screens, your phone, your monitor, all of it. If you can, look out a window at something far away. You'd be shocked at how calming this is for your eyes and your entire nervous system. It's an absolute must in the modern world.
Okay, so let's tie all of this together. We've busted the hustle myth, we've mapped out the 7 types of energy, and we've got a toolkit of micro-rests. It's all about reframing rest, not as an escape from your life, but as a central strategy for succeeding in it.
If you remember one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. Rest is not the enemy of work. It's not what you do when you're too weak to work anymore. It is a vital, essential, non-negotiable part of doing great work. It's the silence between the notes that makes the music.
You know, at the end of the day, it's about this simple but profound shift. Remembering that you are a human being, not a human doing. It's time to upgrade your internal operating system from hustle mode to strategic restoration. That's the secret to a long, brilliant, and sustainable career.
So, I want to leave you with a question. Right now, in this moment, after hearing all this, just take a second and listen. What is your energy telling you it needs? The real art of strategic rest is learning how to finally hear that whisper before your body is forced to scream.